Hi folks, and welcome to the first of these short reflections on Holy Week. Today we're looking at Monday, the Monday of Holy Week, and let me begin with a reading, and it's from Mark's Gospel, and it's chapter 11, and I'm beginning at verse 11, which actually begins on the Sunday as Jesus entered Jerusalem. Jesus entered Jerusalem and went to the temple. He looked around at everything, but since it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12. The next day, he returned from Bethany. On reaching Jerusalem, Jesus entered the temple area and began driving out those who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves, and would not allow anyone to carry merchandise through the temple courts. And as he taught them, he said, "Is it not written, 'My house will be called a house of prayer to all nations'? But you have made it a den of robbers." The chief priests and the teachers of the law heard this and began looking for a way to kill him, for they feared him, because the whole crowd was amazed at his teaching. I said on Palm Sunday that the great drama was about to begin. Here's a quote from Charles Dance on an advert for the drama channel on TV. "Drama? Imagine a world without it. No pain, no sorrow, no heartbreaks. But there would also be no love, no hope, no laughter, no heroes, no gods, no kings or queens, no cases to be solved, no wrongs to be righted, or tales to be told. Imagine a world without drama? Unthinkable." The great drama of Easter continues with our reading today, but notice the reading from Mark. I began it in Palm Sunday, that after the triumphant entry into Jerusalem, Jesus goes and has a look around. What was he thinking? What was he seeing? And of course he checked out the temple. We have mentioned that Palm Sunday was organised. Jesus had it organised in advance. It just didn't happen spontaneously. And here we have, on the night before the disturbance in the temple, he goes and has a look at the temple. Was he planning what he was going to do on this day? And then we have him entering the temple itself. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to the Edinburgh Festival. And of course I think it's happening this year after all the COVID restrictions for the first time in a few years. And it'll be a great event. And when you're in Edinburgh, there's an incredible buzz. And in every street corner, everywhere you go, there's people doing things. There are attractions on the street. And sometimes people do zany and provocative things just to get the public's attention, because obviously there's competition for all the different acts. And sometimes they go over the top in order to grab your attention and or to whet your curiosity. Jesus here was being deliberately provocative. He goes into the temple and it's a protest. He was hardly living in the background, in the shadows. He was hardly doing things quietly or teaching in side alleys. Here was a full confrontation in the temple courts. Quite incredible. He knew what he was doing. But note, he wasn't in a rage, because the text tells us that he turned over the tables of the money changers with the money on it, but the benches of those who were selling the doves. He didn't turn over the tables with the doves on it. This was a controlled action by Jesus. He was in control the whole time, and he was making a specific point. Gentle Jesus, meek and mild? Hardly. Jesus was anything but that. Yes, we see in him something of the incredible grace, and God comes to us in the flesh through Jesus. and we see something of his wisdom and his power. But that grace has a sharp edge. It's springtime. We used to talk, I don't hear it so much now, but we used to talk about spring cleaning. I wonder if that's a metaphor for the church and for us and for our lives. If Jesus was to come to the temple, representing our culture and society, or our established church, or indeed our homes, what would he see that needs to be overturned? What would he challenge us about with the necessity to do our own spiritual spring cleaning? Are there things in our lives that we take for granted? Are we just dodging along? Have we indeed got the wrong end of the stick of what God requires of us? Or are we just not really that bothered enough to do anything? It's a nice thought, and it's maybe nice to think about things and to hope that the faith is true, but we're not really energised or engaged beyond that. So there's a point to ponder. Do we need a spiritual spring clean? And what is Jesus saying to you and me on this Holy Week? Once again, thank you for watching and listening. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.